One.
A long time ago, I had a conversation with an old workmate. The detail is hazy, but he said that one day he was in his house when he felt a sudden need to go outside and stand on his lawn. He claimed it was the strongest, clearest feeling ever, and on doing so, he experienced a sort of wobble. He just said everything was screwed up for a moment, and he experienced a feeling of detachment and outsideness. When it passed, he turned to go back inside. Now, while talking to me, he got quite upset at this point, and he asked me not to think him crazy, but he said that the next thing he saw was his car parked in the street, and it was the same model and registration, but a different color. He was so thrown at this, and then more so because his wife came out to ask him what he was doing, and he said he realized she was in all appearance his wife, but somehow not his wife at the same time. He said from that point on she liked food she claimed to hate before, and sometimes brought up memories. He said he had zero relation to things they had done in the past. He said things like his route to work were still the same, but somehow different. He said there were buildings on the way that either he missed in the 6 years he'd driven past them 5 days a week, or they had just appeared overnight. He even said some people he remembered from other departments at work had just vanished, and asking about them brought total incomprehension from other people. He was a totally regular, healthy guy, but he said he measured his life in relation to that afternoon. There were things that happened before the change, and everything afterwards. He went on to say that he was now living his life with a feeling that about 15% of it had spontaneously changed that afternoon. We moved on and drifted apart since then. We both worked different jobs. But I've never really felt so sure about the permanence of reality ever since.
Two.
I was monkeying around on the handrails of a balcony on the 4th floor of my building, and I fell off as my two buddies watched in horror. I remember seeing the concrete floor approaching as I fell head first and thinking, oh no, I'm going to break my wrist. Why my wrist, I don't know. The next recollection is seeing my buddies yelling from up there, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I look up and I say, "What happened?" They did not actually see me hit the floor. They just ran outside and saw me already standing looking up. Not a scratch, not a bruise, nothing hurt. I don't remember hitting the floor, standing up, nothing. No memories exist for those 1 or 2 seconds. None of us three ever understood what happened, but we all saw it, and we all agree what happened.
3.
I got into a motorcycle accident 6 years ago. I was going 45 through town, and a woman who didn't see me turns left right in front of me. It could only have been about a millisecond, but I remember weighing my options and thinking if I should try and go over the car or under it by laying the bike down. I put the bike down. It went straight under her car. I went diagonally. I slid across the pavement wearing no helmet, no jacket, just jeans and a cheap hoodie from Walmart. So I slid for about 80 feet or so. I'm not sure on the exact measurement, but it was a long way. I slid on the pavement, and when I stopped, I just stood up. The only thing wrong was that there was a hole in my hoodie cuff about the size of a dime. Not a scratch anywhere on me. I remember looking at it, then at my mangled bike, and just screaming in my head, "Physics don't work this way." I have a sleep tracking app on my phone that has a setting for lucid dreaming. It will start saying, "You are dreaming," repeatedly in a woman's voice with a bit of an echo. I was at work one day when I started hearing the voice randomly, every few minutes or so. I checked my phone, and as soon as the screen turned on, I woke up in my bed as the sun was rising. A bit freaked out, I went to take a shower. Then on my way to work, I start to hear the voice again through the radio. When I turned my car off, a bit freaked out again, I once more woke up in my bed as the sun was rising. This happened about 3 or 4 more times, all at different times of the day. I didn't trust reality for about a week after that, and I still refuse to use that particular setting of the app. I've stopped telling people this story as no one ever believes me. I'll never forget it. It's been driving me crazy for 30 years. When I was a kid in England, in primary school, around 1987, a new kid joined the school on a temporary basis for a term. He had an American accent and had red hair. His name was Lee. Before he left us, he brought to school what today would look sort of like a tablet computer, but this was very thin with brown tanned glass. He had cartoons on it. He totally loved cartoons and movies. I swear this happened. I didn't dream it. It was amazing. There was a crowd of kids who saw it, and their reaction was interesting because they liked it and wanted one, comparing it to the Nintendo game and watch and calculators, but sort of accepted it and didn't think it was magical, but it certainly was. I said to him that it was like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy prop used in the TV series. He didn't know what I meant. He kept it away from the teachers and didn't bring it back in. I kept asking him questions about his calculator TV that I called it, and he just gave vague answers saying he didn't know, but when I asked where he bought it, he said his dad got it from the US. One other thing he said, he saw a movie which had every cartoon character ever. A few years later, I realized he was talking about Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which came out soon after. This was 30 years ago, and you can imagine how difficult in all this time it's been to describe this thing, as we haven't had ubiquitous tablets everywhere. I used to draw diagrams of it to show people. I went crazy when I saw the Tom Hanks movie Big, the scene where he pitches a handheld comic book video device. My parents just sort of acknowledged it, just humoring me. When Star Trek The Next Generation came out, and the pad was shown on the screen, I went, "That's it! That's the thing!" Eventually, the tablet PC came out, and I remember thinking, finally at last. The video iPod was further confirmation. Today, it's obvious that it was a tablet computer, and my story sounds more convenient than bullshit. I suppose I could track some of the other kids down on Facebook to prove this. I bet they would remember. Naturally, no one believes me. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the show. If you have a story to share, send us an email, like us on Facebook, share, like, and subscribe.